Okay, here at number 16, what's the distance between the two cities? So we're looking this from basically this distance right here. And we know this is 20 miles between these two cities and 40 miles between these two cities. So what we're going to have to do is Pythagorean theorem to figure that out. And if you remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's very likely, I'm sure you were introduced that in middle school. Maybe not as freshmen in algebra, but this is something you got to make sure you know. C is the longest side. So that's the part we don't know. A and B are the two shorter sides. Again, C is opposite of the right angle here. So A can be 20. So 20 squared, you got to take 20 times 20. You can do that in your calculator and you get 400. Plus 40 times 40, which is 1600. And that equals C squared. Now we have to solve for C. So 400 plus 1600 is 2000. And that equals C squared. And then we have to do the square root. So it would be the square root of 2000 equals C. Now you might be able to type in the square root of 2000 in your calculator to figure out what the decimal of that is. So if you do that, you're going to get 44.72, and we'll round it there. Okay, and you could type in all four of your answers and see what matches up with 44.72. The other thing you can do is, and this is the way the answers are structured, is to simplify the radical. So pick a perfect square that divides into 200 evenly, or 2000 evenly. Well, I know 100 is a perfect square because 10 times 10. So I'm going to break this up into the square root of 100. And then how many times does the square root of 100 go into 2000? Goes into it, I believe, 20 times. 20 times 100 is 2000. And what is the square root of 100? That'd be 10. So you have 10 square root of 20. Now, if you remember a list of perfect squares, you know, there are 4, that's 3 times, or 2 times 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. 25, ... to 100, right? We already divided out 100. But then any of these numbers divide into 20 evenly. Well, 4 does. So you have the square root of 4, square root of 5. Okay, that's what the square root of 20 breaks up into. The square root of 4 is 2. Then you have the square root of 5. And then 10 times 2 is 20. So 20 square root of 5 is your answer, B. However, you could type in 20 times the square root of 5. And if you do that, you're going to get the 44.72. That's another way to find your answer.